Have you? Oh, yeah. Nice.
Hey, we are live at Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. for the Shania Twain show. I just want to show you the calm before the storm right now. Here we are. There's the stage. Everybody's just kind of lining up, getting the security together. This is a true backstage pass moment because people that come in here and file in here for the show don't get to see kind of what's happening. So there's the sound booth right there and lighting, and got all the rigs up. And Cory Churko.
Hey.
Hey, buddy, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Awesome.
I'm so glad to have you on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
I've been waiting for this moment to sit down with you. You're incredibly talented. With Shania Twain since 1997.
Yes.
It's when you joined her kind of as an audition on David Letterman.
Correct.
Tell me a little bit about that. I watched the video. It's wonderful. YouTube is a beautiful thing because you can see everything.
Right.
You looked very calm and like a natural. Were you really nervous that night?
Well, I've had many years of playing music up to that point. I played in a family band, grew up playing on the road, lots of bars, lots of nightclubs. And it was actually at that time that I had quit the music business altogether, and I went into a different profession, and I went into computer animation. And I did that for about 6 months, thought that I had finished with the music business, and then I got that magical call that everybody dreams about, that usually never happens, but for some reason it did, asking me to play with Shania.
Dream.
A dream. And my audition would be playing on the David Letterman show. That's how it happened. So.
I mean, that's not very usual for people. This is an extreme circumstance here.
Totally. And, you know, obviously I couldn't say no to that.
And obviously after that, she couldn't say no to you because you've been with her ever since.
Well, what can I say?
Yeah. And you got it. You got it.
I'm very fortunate. I don't take any of this for granted. Very lucky to be doing this with her, and she's such a great person as well, so it couldn't be better.
When you auditioned, you played violin, right?
Right.
Okay, but you play almost every other instrument. Really, I mean, you're very multi-talented. Guitar.
Yes.
Vocals.
Yes.
Music director.
Yes.
Producer.
Yes.
Audio engineer.
Yes. Wow, you really have done your research.
What am I missing here? Digital editor.
Mm-hmm.
What else? What else do you do?
Well, you know, I just kind of make myself as valuable as possible. I'm pretty good at just jumping in on any kind of stringed instrument, whether it's mandolin, fiddle, you know, guitar, banjo.
Because once you can play the guitar and the violin, you're handed a string instrument. It's not that difficult, right? When you kind of have the hang of it.
You can figure out. To be proficient at it or a master of it is another thing, but definitely to play parts, you know, can make it happen, make it work with what I know. But guitar has been my main instrument, so it's ironic that the fiddle has the one that's it's been the instrument to propel me into the big time, so to speak. It was what got me the gig with Shania. It's what got me the gig with another artist that I played with for over a decade, Clarkson. Mm-hmm. You know, but somehow I always come back around to guitar because, of course, that's what I feel most comfortable on. But certainly on this Shania show, I'm playing lots of fiddle as well. So I play. It makes it a lot of fun. I think I've played almost every part on every song of the Shania songs on a different instrument every tour.
Do you do any vocals with her? I know that you do duets with Kelly.
Yes.
Do you duet with Shania?
You'll hear me singing on From This Moment On during the show.
I walked down the aisle on my wedding to that song.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I am dead serious.
Oh,
We're divorced now, but still, it's a beautiful, beautiful song, and that's why I chose it.
All right, well,
it's all good.
So
we're
it'll
good
have
friends.
good memories, maybe some bad memories.
No,
but
we're good.
All
It's
in
good
all,
memories.
yeah.
All good
Okay.
memories.
Nice.
All good memories. I had to throw that one in there, right? Throw you for a little bit of a loop.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this Shania show. I'm going to show everybody just one more time. We're at Capital One Arena. There's the stage, getting ready. Talk to me about this show. You've been on tour with her since '97. Mm-hmm. How is this one a little different? I know you guys have the boxes, right?
We have these boxes, these cubes that get moved around the stage in all kinds of different configurations. Because there are so many moving parts to the show, it's the most complex show that I've ever done with her. Just to get the choreography, not only within the musicians and dancers, but also all the people that move this stuff around. There's stairs that have to be moved around there are drum kits that have to. There's like 3 different drum sets on the show: an electric kit and one kit that flies up in the rafters, and the other one that gets pushed around the stage. So all that stuff from song to song has to be very carefully choreographed, and it's amazing that we've done it, but it's totally going like clockwork now.
People that don't understand, you know, the usual audience member comes to a show, they pay for the ticket, they come in, they sit in their seats, and they watch this spectacle, right? Take us a little bit behind the scenes of what exactly it entails. I mean, you like you said, you've got so many moving parts. Mm-hmm. How long do you guys have to rehearse for something like this?
This was like, we rehearsed for about a month to do this. First part of it was just get the music right. And then next, once we actually got to the arena, which was in Vancouver, where we did our production rehearsals, it was about 2 weeks of getting all the technical things in place once the music was already learned, which we did that in LA. So.
And then one screw up could throw off a show. Has that happened?
It could. We haven't had any issues at this point.
Let's knock on the wood here.
Yeah, it's all been great.
Wood.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
The whole team are just great people, professionals, and I'm lucky to be a part of this.
Is it really a true family when you guys are out on tour with each other? I mean, do you guys really pal around together?
We do.
Go out to dinner and you know each other's families?
We even got in the spirit of the World Cup and we all went and played soccer the other night, which was really fun.
Fun.
Or football to the rest of the world.
Yes.
We do that. We go for matcha tea together. We eat dinner together.
Vegan burgers together?
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of the only vegan on the tour, so it's hard to get people to come out with me, but...
hey, Joseph Wooten from Steve Miller Band, I found your next best friend.
Yeah, Wooten! I love the Wooten brothers, they're awesome.
Wooten.
Yeah.
He's vegan. I said I was going to bring him cookies, and, you know, I was going to bring you cookies, but I don't know where to find the vegan cookies.
Actually, you know what? Somebody brought me vegan cookies in the production office today.
See, they're better than I am. I just suck.
Whole Foods Market.
Oh, Whole Foods. Now I know.
There's an amazing
now I know.
vegan burger place across the street from here.
Yeah, you posted about that, right?
And I forget the name of it.
Looked
What was
really
it called?
good.
I forget the name already.
I don't know.
But it was fantastic. I actually had a buffalo chicken burger or something, but chicken, CHICK apostrophe N.
Yeah.
You know? Not real chicken.
Yeah.
Not real chicken.
Tell me about your garb here. This is a special night for you because you are at Capital One Arena.
Yes.
All right.
Very special night for
the
me.
Washington, D.C. Caps won.
Come on. I've been waiting for this. I've been following the Capitals not as long as most people. I've been a fan for about 5 years. I became a fan on the last Shania tour when I would play PlayStation on the back of the bus. And
Which is common.
Yes,
a lot of people,
of course.
Got to kill time on the tour bus.
And I would always pick the Capitals because they had the best stats and they were my best chance at winning against my opponent. But in doing so, I got to learn all about the people on the team. I started looking at their bios, realizing that some of them are from close to where I was born, like Braden Holtby. He's from Lloydminster, Saskatchewan. I'm from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, up in Canada.
Yes, you are from Moose Jaw.
And I've connected with him and got to meet him in LA when they played the Kings through his mother, who we've been Facebook pals. So this is a really big night for me to actually, and I have something special during the encore.
Oh.
That you'll have to look at my Instagram to see what happens.
Okay.
But,
Cory Churko is his Instagram.
Yep. And I walked around the concourse area. I saw a lot of the displays that they have, but the whole place is under renovation right now. Did you know that?
Yeah.
So
you were telling us.
The team store is not open, so I couldn't buy any more Stanley Cup swag that I was hoping to get. But luckily, I got this from my wife for my birthday, and this for my birthday from my wife.
So proud.
And
I knew you were going to be excited to come to this DC show.
This is amazing.
See, this is the best place to interview you because you're like in your prime right now.
I'm totally excited.
Totally excited.
And I'm a West Coast boy, so for me to cheer for an East Coast team is very strange, but I love the Capitals for the team spirit.
It's very
for
smart.
The international community that is represented. The Russians, the Czechs, the Canadians, the Americans, the freaking Swedes, you know.
Yeah.
And they're all they're all awesome in their own right, and they all play together as a team. That's what I like about hockey.
Awesome. And you'll see if you follow him on Instagram or Facebook, he posts a lot about that everywhere that you guys go. You guys were just in New York, right?
Yep.
You're heading to Philly?
We came from Philly to Brooklyn,
Okay.
which is where the Islanders play. And in every NHL arena, I take a picture in front of the dressing room doors.
Yes, you do.
So I'm at 16 now out of 31.
Wow.
I won't get the whole series on this tour. I think I'll miss San Jose and...
Is that like a fun part of touring for you, is you get to see things that you
it's
really would
amazing.
like to see?
Absolutely. It's just amazing to be able to see the world and get paid to do it.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you ever bring the wife out and she
Of
tours
course.
around with you?
Of course, she comes out a lot. She's working, so she comes out on weekends whenever she can, and whenever it's a really interesting place, she'll show up. And
Let's talk about that for a minute. I was a tour bus wife myself
Okay.
for a little while.
Yep.
I toured with Hall & Oates for a couple of weeks down in Florida.
Oh, great.
And in the back of the bus are your little bunkers, right?
Mm-hmm,
And it's a tough squeeze. Does she get her out? Do the wives get their own, or do they have to squeeze in with you?
they can squeeze in, and
Yeah.
you might have been on a bus that had 3 stacked bunks. Is that true?
Yes.
On ours, we have 2 stacked, so we
Oh.
can actually sit up in our bunks.
Oh,
They're
nice.
the same width though, so
Okay.
it is still tight, but at least you don't feel like you're in a coffin as much.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's cool. And the tour bus is fun, right? Sometimes.
it's comfortable. It's very comfortable.
Is yours kind of the state of the art now, where in the bathroom it has the buttons? There are no door handles. You have those buttons now, the panels.
It's got the buttons. I have thoughts about the buttons because
I do too.
sometimes they take a long time to open
Yep.
and a long time to close.
Yep.
And then when you gotta really go,
You gotta go.
you can't wait for the doors to be closing.
Yep.
They're like, press the button.
Yep. Yep.
Like, really?
You're like,
I could just
"Come
open
on."
the door. So it's kind of a nice luxury, but it gets a little annoying after a while.
It does get a little annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where do you and the wife? You've toured everywhere. Where do you guys like to vacation?
We've spent a lot of time in Southeast Asia, to be honest.
Wow.
We've probably been to every country there except for Bhutan. So Cambodia, Laos, India, Vietnam, Thailand, of course. That's kind of, a little bit into China, like Hong Kong, but not into China proper. I have a hard time as a vegan in China because all the things they eat there.
Yeah.
So
It's a little
that's
tough.
not to say I don't want to go. I do want to go. But
Yeah.
India, of course, is very easy.
They have the vegetables for you, Cory.
half of any menu is all we like. If you go on a plane in India, they assume you're vegetarian. When you order, if you want meat, it's a special meal. It's the exact opposite of here. When you want a vegan meal, it's a special meal.
You were learning things.
Yeah, they have
Love that.
McDonald's there, and half the menu is vegetarian.
But they don't have vegan McDonald's burgers yet, do they?
They
That could come.
They have vegan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Vegan
Definitely.
burgers?
They have vegan burgers. They have one called the Tiki Aloo Burger.
I'm learning so
and
much.
the Maharaj Mac. Serious. Yeah.
But you can't remember the burger
And-
name
and
that
then-
you had yesterday.
Yeah, they don't have any beef on the menu. All the meat that's on the McDonald's menu is mutton or whatever, lamb.
Yes.
So yeah, it's a lot easier in India to travel as a vegetarian vegan for sure.
So cool.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Toque.
Toque. Yes.
I love Toque.
Thanks.
Is it true? And let me just tell people, Toque is your band. You're pretty much a super group in Canada.
Well, thank you for saying so.
Okay. And you do covers of other bands.
Yes.
Is it true that we're going to hear some Toque before the show tonight?
Not here because we did play it before the shows in Canada because everybody knows these songs in Canada, but not so many know it in the U.S. So it's different playlist for the U.S. shows for the pre-show music.
You cover so many different artists, like Aldanova,
Yes.
Street Heart, and
Yes.
Loverboy. I was beyond excited when you posted the picture of Chili Whack.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you guys are hitting some yacht rock.
Bill Henderson. Yep.
I
He's my
love
idol.
that.
Gong gong gong, she be gong so
so
long,
long.
she be
Gong,
gong
gong,
gong
gong,
so
so
long.
long.
That was actually a hit
I
in the
love it.
States.
Yes.
So a lot of people know that one.
I love that
Yeah.
song.
And they always say Chilliwack, even though it's Chilliwack.
It's Chilliwack. See?
But
And
that's
it's
an
toque,
honest
not
mistake.
toque.
Yeah.
And toque is a hat.
Toque is a winter hat. It's just a beanie. It's nothing special about it. It's it's a winter hat, pom pom, no pom pom. It doesn't matter. It could probably even have the flap ears and still be called a toque in Canada.
It's Toque.
That's correct.
That's how it's spelled.
Mm-hmm.
And you can find them at toquerocks.ca,
Mm-hmm.
and you can find them at Toque Rocks on Facebook and Toque Rocks on Instagram. You are joined by Todd Kearns and Brent Fitz, who both play with Slash,
That's correct.
and Shane Gallus from the Bees.
Yes.
Japanese
Do you know who
group.
the Bees are?
I don't, but I heard you talking about
Okay.
it. Japanese group, and they're
Yes.
like the Rolling Stones
They
of
are
Japan.
They are unbelievably huge in Japan, like 80 million records.
Is he the only Canadian in the group?
There is, I think, a bass player from the U.S. He's the only Canadian in the band. From
Okay,
what I know.
and the rest are Japanese?
Yeah, and they sell out like the Tokyo Dome like 2 or 3 nights in a row.
That's crazy.
They aren't as known in the rest of the world, but they're super huge in Japan, and so Shane is in Japan more than he's over here.
Yeah.
But he grew up in the prairies in Canada like we did. Brent Fitz is from Winnipeg, and I'm from Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. Todd is from Lanigan, Saskatchewan, which is by Saskatoon.
Saskatoon.
Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. And all of us live in the States, so we've all grown to really miss our Canadian roots, listening to all these Canadian songs that we grew up cutting our teeth on. So we did a charity event one time in Winnipeg, and we decided that we would just play these Canadian classic tunes.
That's awesome.
And we had so much fun doing it that we decided we have to record a record. So we recorded our first album, Giver. Do you know what Giver is?
Tell me.
Okay. Well, Giver is like, go for it, give her shit. I don't know if I can say that in your show.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You can cuss all you want on the show.
So it's a very common, it's another Canadian term. You would just say, yeah, we really gave her last night. You can use it in the past tense as well as the present tense. Let's give her. Let's go out there and give her tonight. We really gave her last night. We were giving her all night. You can use those terms. So that's
Okay.
what giver is. So it's about, going for it, celebrating Canadian music. And so we have our record out, our first record called Giver. And it's on anywhere you can find your favorite music online, Spotify, iTunes,
okay.
Google Play Music, Amazon. It's all,
It's Toque.
just look for Toque.
Toque.
Yep, and Giver is give, Give 'R.
Got it.
Yeah, and we're putting a new
Giver.
record out in November, and I think it's going to be called Volume Toque.
I love that. That's perfect.
Yep.
Volume 2.
So we have some new Canadian bands represented on that. We have one original tune, which we're excited to release.
You gonna do some Avril?
No, but that's a great idea because I love
See?
Avril.
Gotta do some
I
Avril.
mean, there's so many great Canadian artists and bands that we have
And
yet
you do
to tap
Bryan
into.
Adams.
We do a Bryan Adams one on the new record.
Okay.
Yep. It's
You
an
heard it
old
here
one
first.
though. It's like from his first record.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Love some Bryan Adams.
Yeah, we wanted to pick songs that the international community hasn't heard. So to our international fans, these are kind of like all original tunes.
Mm-hmm.
But to Canadians, it's like an anthology of hit songs. So yeah, I mean, we're excited to put the new record out and start doing some dates on that.
Supergroups are the big thing now.
You think?
Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
There are so many. I've had several on my show already.
Nice.
It's cool.
Awesome.
Really, really neat. I think it gives your audience just more than what you could possibly give them as a solo artist, because
Absolutely.
they're seeing all these people on stage that have collaborated with other people, and it's interesting. It's very cool, and it's giving the audience more. That's my take on it.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's just a labor of love for us. Honestly, we would do these shows if nobody showed up, with Toque, because it's just all stuff that we cut our teeth on, and we stood in line to see all these bands that we've covered, and now we've released a record with these songs, and we're getting props from the bands that we covered, which
Yeah.
is, it's insane. I mean, Chilliwack, I got my picture taken with Bill Henderson. I talked to him for, half an hour, and I was beside myself in doing so.
Right? It's
Yeah.
really neat.
So it's really cool. Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
people don't understand when you say you play with multiple people. How does that work? Does Shania kind of give you a heads up and say, here are our dates? And then you have to go back to Kelly Clarkson and say, okay, these are the dates that I'm gone. Are you touring at all? How do you work that out?
Well, you just kind of hope that it all works out, but no, there isn't any communication between the two camps working out a schedule for me. But for a while there, when I was with Kelly, it was working out very well. Kelly would take breaks and Shania would be working, so I'd jump back and forth. But it got a little too complicated, and Kelly wanted someone to be there more consistently for her new record that she put out in the fall. Shania put out her record in the fall. There was way too many overlaps, so
So are you just with Shania now?
I'm just with Shania for now.
Okay.
And my second family is definitely the Kelly camp, and I hope that I get to play with those guys again. But you just don't know in this business, and I understand that.
Absolutely. It's kind of one of those things. You got to just play it by ear because every year's different.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Are you on the Shania album, or are you just on tour?
Just on tour. I've appeared on the Up record, but I didn't do anything on this new record at all.
On the new record, okay. You've also played with Britney Spears and Backstreet Boys a little bit.
I performed on stage with the Backstreet Boys on a Shania special.
Okay.
And I worked behind the scenes on a Britney song, Don't Let Me Be the Last to Know.
Okay.
It was on the Oops, I Did It Again record.
Yeah.
And so I did some engineering on that song.
And what did you do with Elton John?
Same thing as the Backstreet Boys. It was a Shania special. He came up and we backed up those artists.
That must have been cool.
It was amazing.
Tell me your goosey moment. When you look down and you see that you've got goosebumps all up and down your arm, and you go,
you know what
God,
it was?
is this really
You know
happening
what
to
it
me?
was?
Yeah, I
what
want to
it was?
know.
It was playing in Vegas with Shania at Caesar's Palace, and looking down and seeing in the second row Wayne Gretzky in the audience.
Ah, of course. Hockey.
You know what that is?
Hockey.
So Wayne Gretzky, of course, people know he's, the all-time best hockey player ever. And, maybe next to Gordie Howe, but it's all debatable, and they were different times. But he was down there, so check out this story. He was down there, and when I saw him, and I had to do a wardrobe change, I'm like, oh my God, Wayne Gretzky's, it's Wayne. And I was forgetting to plug my guitar in. I was so excited. After the show, I ran down to the production office, and I said to the tour manager, I said, Wayne Gretzky's here. I have to come to meet and greet. I want to meet Wayne Gretzky. And he goes, what? No, there's no meet and greet tonight. And I'm like, what do you mean Wayne Gretzky's here? He said, well, we didn't know that. And I go, oh no. So I walked back to my dressing room, kicking at the dust, and I look up, and Wayne Gretzky's already walking down the halls, And so I knew that he was on his way to see Shania.
Did you geek out?
I did. I totally they call it gurming. In Nashville, they call it gurming when you see someone that you really love. And you're, like Chris Farley on Saturday Night Live, he gurmed Paul McCartney in the elevator. He's like, remember that time, Paul, when you were in the Beatles? That's gurming. And I was definitely that to Wayne. I grabbed my phone, and before he could walk by to go to her dressing room, I said, hey Wayne, I'm a real big fan, and can we get our picture together? He was so cool. He stopped and talked for a while, and then the bass player came out of the dressing room and he said, oh hey, do you know that Cory plays hockey? And he's like, oh really? And I said, yeah, I play almost every other day in Vegas while we're here. And he goes, oh, where do you play? And I said, well, at the Ice Castle in Vegas. And he said, oh, I have a fantasy camp there every year. I'll give you my number before I go, and you can be my guest for the next one next year.
Oh.
And I'm like,
holy shit.
yes.
Holy shit.
So, long story short, I went to his fantasy camp and I played hockey with Wayne Gretzky.
That's a good goosey.
It was amazing.
That's a really good
It
goosey.
was amazing. And I have, that picture with number 99 next to number 14, Churko Gretzky.
Churko and Gretzky.
Yeah, it was pretty
Have
sweet.
you remained friends with him?
No.
No.
But
still, it's a great memory
yeah.
for you.
Oh, totally.
Life-changing moment.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if you're listening, Wayne, you want to come to a show, bring your family again, be my guest.
Come on, Wayne.
Yeah.
Come on over. That's what we like to say. Come on over.
Exactly.
In Shania world.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, we're excited. Let me just show everybody one more time. Capital One Arena. We're just a little bit before showtime, before Shania takes the stage and Cory Churko takes the stage.
Yes,
Thank
go Caps.
you so much for being on the show.
Thank
Love
you.
chatting with you.
Thanks for having me, Meredith.
All
Appreciate
right.
it. Yeah.